say in a loud and clear English is that I'm not coming from Wonderland. Spain is not the Wonderland for Roma people. Believe me. We suffer discrimination, we suffer anti-Gypsyism, we suffer a lot in the access to the labor market. We got segregated schools, and we have a lot of problems as many of Roma in different European places. I can't stand the official reports several times doing by Gage that they say that there are no problems in Spain, the integration in Spain is the best way, and they include Spain as a big one example. That is not true, and we have to denounce, we have to say clear in the official, in the European organization and in the European institutions. Trying to ask the question, after the EU election, what's the next for Roma? According to what happened in my country, nothing to do. Nothing to do. Why? Because there was no candidates, Roma candidates at the European election, only one, but she was the last in the line in one of on the left party, and so as a result of that, there is no Roma European Parliament in Spain. Taking in consideration that Spain is one of the, we are 1 million of Roma living in Spain, which is a big population, according to the European Union, one of the most integrated population, and the people who most participate in the elections period. But the question is, why me as a Roma in an isolated plan, I have to participate, to give the power to others, to give the power to the Gacha, to give the power to people who never will represent me. This is why there is a lot of abstention in the election process in Spain. This is why, even that we are the most integrated Roma, European people, blah, 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 there is only a 20% of Roma people participating in the elections. This is the key, because they are not representation for Roma. I completely agree with my previous speakers when they talk that you need to improve, we need to overcome the lack of education. But we need answer from the society as well. We need the possibility to get the power, to be in the start, in a race in the start line, at the same possibility than others. That is, for me, that is clear, because nothing happens if we invest a lot of money, a lot of resources, trying to create very educated people, very educated Roma. If after that, Roma people decide to go abroad and forgot the Roma people in the neighborhoods. This is one of the key for me. Continuing trying to ask the question. I have prepared one presentation because at that time I thought, okay, at least people can watch the TV and they will be attending the election. I split off my intervention in 2 points. The first are the problems. What are the problems? The barriers. The barriers to promote, to be part of the Roma political participation. And the second one, the opportunities to be on the loop. What are the barriers? Underrepresentation. That is quite clear in all the documents, in all the situations that I have been involved. But what does it mean, underrepresentation? Please have a look to the chart on the left of your screen. It represents the members of the different regional and national parliaments in my country. We got 17 regional parliaments, 1 national parliament and senator. At the end of the day, there are almost 1,900 seats in Spain. You can become member of one of the regional parliaments, or even member of the national parliament, or even member of the Senate. But what is the real situation right now? There is zero representatives at the regional parliaments, zero Roma representatives at the parliament, only 4 at the national one. But I would like to point out something. If this conference were done 3 months ago, the number in the national parliament was only one. And we are talking about Spain. Blah, blah, blah. Something I have already pointed out at the beginning of my presentation. The big example, the best practice for the European Commission, the example for continuing political investment or policy investment to the European Commission. But this is the result. When we are talking about underrepresentation, this is the proof, this is the test. This is what happened in my country right now, that there is only 4, taking in consideration that there is almost 2,000 members of different parliaments in Spain. We are 47 inhabitants in my country. The other barrier I can apply is the lack of interest. The lack of interest from the Roma community, from my brothers, because a lot of us, or a lot of them, in this case I have to say a lot of them, thought that political issue is a gadget issue. It's not related to Roma. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's one of the most important answers when I try to find answers to this. I don't care, Pedro. It doesn't matter if it's the left or the right in the government. Roma will keep being the most discriminated people in the country. This is the idea of no future. The other barrier that I would like to point out is the political party system. In Spain, there is a strong political party system with big parties, and that is quite complicated to get it. And unfortunately, the Roma issue is not the most important issue in Spain. It's more important the migrant issue, it's more important the other issues instead of the Roma issue. And the other one is the election system. In Spain, I cannot vote for a Roma. I have to go to a list, to a complete list. And it depends the place where the Roma is, it could be elected or not. But I have to put the list, the complete list. And I think that we need to change this process. The other is discrimination. Is the effect it's happening when one Roma is included in a list, in a political list. In some parts of Spain, the effect is completely the contrary, that the Gache decide not to go to vote to this list due to discrimination. This is quite clear. There is something that I found during the last 5 years in my activism, is that we need to split off the idea of social participation and political participation. Social participation should be in hands of NGOs. The power of social participation, of how to get more resources, how to get more rights, how to make lobby and advocacy should be in hands of NGOs. But political participation should be in hands of leaders and politicians. When we mix NGOs and politicians and politics, it's a complete disaster. It should happen. It's a complete disaster. And we, Oran said something very interesting about leadership. And my question is, what is the leadership of the 21st century in our community? No, in the global, this is not a Harvard view, leadership, blah, blah, blah. No, what is going to be? Because we used to think that there is only one leader who has to know everything and has to show us the way. I regret, I'm sorry, but I refuse this kind of leadership. I prefer horizontal leadership, taking in consideration different points of view. In some parts, I am not in favor of your speech, but I respect a lot. I respect first because you are older than me, and this is cultural, and this is cultural, sorry, because it's cultural, and the other one because I have to respect this idea, because there are part of your ideas that I can include in my ideas, and this is how we could bring together the way of, I don't know if it's called Roma Revolution, because personally I don't believe in the Roma Revolution, but the Roma transition, it could be possible. And the other is the risk of cooptation. 1 minute? No? Oh, okay. The risk of cooptation, which is this. Okay, you are in the parliament, you are here in Brussels, you are in Vienna, you are in Madrid, and you forgot about your friends, about your brothers and sisters, because you become a member of the political party and left the ethnicity. And this is a problem. The risk of cooptation from the political parties is something that I really believe that we have to fight against that. What is new in the political arena in Spain? Well, something that the political party have already recognized, that is that Roma, we are heterogeneous. Not all the Roma have the same political ideas, not all the Roma we are going to put the same political party, and the biggest political parties in Spain, they decide to include Roma candidates in good places. Let me put this, because they are the 4 members of the parliament. Ismael Cortés, I know that everyone in this house, in this room knows Ismael Cortés. He's an activist, member of the left party, and he was the #1 in the list. I can't vote. Thank you. I did. I voted him. Why? Because he was in the same, in the first in my circumscription. It's impossible to say this word in English, to be honest. And the other one is Beatriz Carrilla. She was the #3 in the list of Seville, where lived half part of the Roma people. That is very, very clever from the Socialist Party to put this candidate. The other one is Sara Jiménez from Secretariado Gitano, the #3 in Madrid. No way. She has been elected even that she is living in another place. She has been elected. And the other, Juan José Cortés, is a member of the Evangelic Church, and he is member of the parliament, #1 for Huelva. This recognition of heterogeneity make us more opportunities. This photo is quite curious. Finally we break the gap. What happened between those years? 40 years. We need 40 years to change the idea of 1978 to promote the heterogeneity in 2019. From everybody knows, Juan de Dios Ramírez Heredia, I mean, one of the most influential politicians, Roma politicians in the world, but today we are 4, and they are youngers. And this is the most important for me. What are the opportunities? The first one, from social fight to political fight. It was very clear in the video. We are the change. We are the change. And we can do this change. The other one is the idea of new generations. New generations brings youth voices going beyond the social issues. And the other one, another thing that is important, they are native digitals. They know very well how to use social media. They are native digital, and we are migrant digitals. And it is quite complicated for us, the new world. Change from Roma public policies as consumers. Usually, we Roma used to be the last in the list, and we receive the political action. We receive the directive. We receive the Roma action plan for Roma people. But this is not the way. The way is to be just at the beginning, being part of the agenda. And this is something that is changing right now. We left the idea of being consumer to be proactive just at the beginning. Robert Dahl, one of the biggest professors of political science, they use the black box. That is, there is a black box to access the input from a policy, and the output is the most important. But for influencers, for activists, you have to be just at the beginning of the idea. You have to be in the process of taking in consideration the project in the agenda. And we are changing this process. New strategies, new ways, more horizontal, new form. It's not necessary. Social media give us the opportunity to be in contact with all the people without staying in the same physically in the same room. From the ground to the policy making decision. This is important. What really need Roma? We have to ask ourselves. We have to be very clear in the answer of that question. And the most important, policy makers, they have to hurt us. Because it's our right, it's our vote, but it's our future as well. And for me, the most important in the process of political participation, never forget what has made you grow up. Never. If you forgot that, you become a false civil servant, you become someone that has not influence. Maybe your life could be easy, but you cannot ask yourself as an activist. You are a member of the system, and you are very in the process of optation. That is something that we have to avoid in all levels. I think that it is all. Okay. Thank you very much.